She's the queen. She's the champ. She's a beast. She can do whatever she wants.
Zhang Weili, nicknamed Magnum.
With that right hand.
She brings a formidable 26-4-0 record, with 42% of her wins coming by KO/TKO, 31% by submission, and 27% by decision. Proof of her well-rounded and dangerous skill set. Grappler, Zhang poses a serious threat to our beloved Dakota Ditcheva, especially on the ground.
My name is Zhang Weili. I'm from China. Remember me.
However, statistics reveal a potential path to victory. 75% of Zhang's losses have come by decision.
Landed several of those inside low kicks.
If Dakota hopes to overcome such a dominant force, she must rely on sharp striking, disciplined takedown defense, and smart round management to steer the fight into deep waters and secure a decision win rather than engaging in a grappling battle that plays directly into Zhang's strengths. This woman is dangerous everywhere. Standing on the ground in the clinch, there is no safe zone against Zhang Weili. She beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk in what many call the greatest women's MMA fight of all time. She choked out Carla Esparza, dominated Amanda Lemos, and even moved up to flyweight to challenge Valentina Shevchenko. That's the resume.
Oh, he's already activated down for the mat, which is interesting.
So what makes her so dangerous? Let's break down the style. Zhang is what you'd call a pressure fighter. She doesn't wait for you, she comes to you. From the opening bell, she's pushing forward, cutting off the cage, making you uncomfortable.
Just to make this even more gnarly.
On the feet, she mixes Sanda striking, that's Chinese kickboxing, with heavy combinations. She started with Shaolin Kung Fu at age 6, then Sanda, and later added Muay Thai. So her stand-up has real depth. She's not flashy, she's efficient. She throws punches in bunches and she hits hard for her size.
This triangle position. Oh, armbar. Look at this.
There's a tap.
Wow.
What a victory there.
Wow.
For Weili.
But the real danger? The grappling. She's a BJJ brown belt, soon to be black belt, and she uses her wrestling to drag fights to the ground and control you there. Her ground and pound is brutal. Against Amanda Lemos, she outstruck her 296 strikes to just 29. That's the biggest striking differential in UFC women's history. The woman on top just picks you apart.
We have Zhang Weili. She is wearing the red.
Straight away we see Zhang opening with kicks, and that's going to be a key to victory in this fight. She's got to move around and use those kicks.
She's also incredibly durable and mentally tough. She's been in wars. She doesn't panic. She doesn't stop. She just keeps coming. Bottom line, Zhang Weili is the complete package. Now, our girl, Dakota Ditcheva. If Zhang Weili is a seasoned war veteran, Dakota is the prodigy who hasn't lost a single battle yet. 15 fights, 15 wins, 0 losses. She's perfect.
Plum and a right hand.
Another one. Big one. Dakota Ditcheva, right hand and a hand finish. Another knockout for Dakota Ditcheva.
And it's not like she's been fighting nobodies. She just beat Taila Santos, a former UFC title challenger, finishing her in the second round with body shots to win the 2024 PFL Women's Flyweight Championship and $1 million. She became the youngest champion in PFL history and the first British woman to win an MMA world title. At just 27 years old. Born in Sale, Manchester, into a martial arts family, her mom is a multiple-time world kickboxing champion. Dakota was basically raised for this. She's got Muay Thai roots, she's a world champion in Muay Thai, and she hits like someone twice her size. 12 of her 15 wins are by KO or TKO. That's an 80% finish rate. She doesn't just win, she destroys people. So if these two ever meet, and MMA fans are dying for this fight, where does Dakota have the edge?
Here we go! Right on the money, baby. What a kick!
Striking. This is the obvious one. Dakota's hands are faster, her body shots are elite level, and her Muay Thai base gives her more weapons than most fighters know what to do with. She attacks the body better than almost anyone in the sport right now. Zhang can take a punch, but Dakota's timing and combinations are on another level. Speed and movement. Dakota moves beautifully. She doesn't stand in front of you and trade. She circles, she creates angles, she makes you miss, and then she makes you pay. Zhang is a pressure fighter, so if Dakota can control the distance, she controls the fight. And here's the key stat. 75% of Zhang Weili's losses have come by decision. She can be outworked. She can be outpointed. Dakota is smart enough to box her way to a decision if the grappling gets too dangerous. The game plan for Dakota is clear. Stay on the outside, use the jab, attack the body, defend the takedowns, and win rounds. Don't get into a wrestling match. Don't let Zhang drag her down. Make it a boxing match, because that's where Dakota wins. But let's be real, Zhang is a massive threat. If she gets Dakota to the ground, this fight changes completely. Zhang's ground and pound is relentless, and her submissions are legit. Dakota's takedown defense will be tested like never before. Also, Dakota has never faced anyone at this level. Zhang has fought for world titles multiple times, been in 5-round wars, and been in moments that would break lesser fighters. That experience matters. Zhang also has a chin. She's been hit hard and kept going. If Dakota doesn't finish her early with those body shots, Zhang could take over in the later rounds. This is not a fight Dakota can take lightly. Zhang Weili is the biggest test of her career, and possibly the most dangerous woman in her weight class. So, is Zhang Weili the one to finally beat Dakota Ditcheva? Honestly, I think Dakota wins this fight, but it won't be easy. Dakota's striking is just too clean, her movement too sharp, and her body shot game too good for Zhang to keep up with over 25 minutes. If Dakota stays disciplined, defends the takedowns, and fights smart, she wins by decision or late stoppage. But if Zhang gets her down even once and lands that ground and pound, all bets are off. Dakota Ditcheva is the future of women's MMA, and Zhang Weili might just be the fight that proves it to the whole world. Drop in the comments who wins this fight and how. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing? More breakdowns, more deep dives, more MMA content. Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, stay sharp.
Lucia Szabova!
On the side. Ned said, kick. Bad intentions. Oh! Kick! Lucia Szabova!
She has a professional record of 9 fights, 9 wins, 7 finishes, representing Nerura Cup Team Progressus and fighting out of Slovakia. #1 contender, Bantamweight Octagon MMA, Lucia Silent Killer Szabova!
She looks like she belongs on a runway in Paris. Beautiful, elegant, refined. But step into the cage with her. You're not facing a model. You're facing a predator.
Having a good time. You shoot star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go.
Postav sa na nohy, on vystrá, poď! Postav sa! Aj si dám! Pozor na ruku! Vyťahni to! Vytrhni to! Vytrhni to! Vytrhni! Za ňu, za nohy! Stále koleno!
They call her the silent killer. And that nickname, it's not about her looks, it's not about her demeanor, it's about what she does to you when that cage door locks.
24 PFL season, Dakota Ditcheva still undefeated in the blue. Tyler Santos, a one-time UFC title challenger in the black. Plus moves forward. Oh, kick to the face. Ditcheva showing off all the weapons. And she has Tyler Santos hurt deep for sure. Santos is in big trouble. She's in big trouble. Dakota Ditcheva to the body again.
On one side we have Dakota Dangerous Ditcheva, the most devastating knockout artist in women's MMA. 15 wins, 0 losses, 12 brutal knockout, the youngest PFL champion in history, the first British female MMA world champion, the woman who finished Tyler Santos when nobody else could. But on the other side, we have a fighter who might be Dakota's worst nightmare.
Walking full. Tonight, Szabova looking for the finish. Now it is. Can she bring it?
Lucia Szabova, the Slovak silent killer, 10 wins, 0 losses, perfect record. But here's what makes her terrifying: 3 TKOs in the first round, 3 submissions in the first round, 1 submission in the second round, 30% knockout rate, 50% submission rate. While Dakota finishes 80% of her fights by knockout, but only 7% by submission, Lucia is a complete fighter who can finish you anywhere, anytime. Lucia Szabova, born December 23, 1997, in Bratislava, Slovakia. Look at her outside the cage. Stunning, composed. You'd never guess what she's capable of.
Bad intentions. Lucia Szabova! What a victory! They were exchanging punches, punch for punch, hook for...
But the moment she steps between those ropes, the model disappears. The killer emerges. August 9, 2025, Octagon 74 in Prague. Lucia faces champion Cecilia Bolander for the bantamweight title. First round, 3 minutes and 11 seconds. Brutal elbows, devastating strikes. The referee stops it. New champion. That's the silent killer's signature. She doesn't waste time. She doesn't leave it to the judges. She finishes.
Bola som zápasníčka, študentka. Mňa ten šport veľmi naplňal, ale mala som strašne taký vnútorný pocit, že už chcem to dieťa. Najprv som sa strašne zlakla, že či to zvládnem. Ten rozbeh po pôrode bol zrážka s vlakom. Ten strach určite neodišiel. Pochybuje človek o tom, že dobre robím, že odchádzam od toho dieťaťa. Je extrémne náročné sa premôcť, ísť do toho gymu, vôbec vstať z postele. Vydržím to peklo a potom proste príde tá odmena.
Lucia Szabova!
She trains at Handan Gym Prague. Her base? Muay Thai. Razor-sharp striking, devastating kicks, precision elbows that cut you open. But she didn't stop there. She evolved. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, ground and pound. She became the complete package. She burst onto the scene, winning Octagon Challenge, a reality show where fighters compete for a professional contract. Since signing with Octagon MMA in 2020, she hasn't lost. Not once. Not even close. All right, let's talk numbers, because this is where it gets scary for Dakota Ditcheva.
Come on in.
Offense.
We're ready.
So long and rangy.
Put away.
On a power.
Dakota Ditcheva is one of the most feminine people ever. She's beautiful. She's a gorgeous woman. She looks like a model. It has nothing to do with men beating each other up. There's nothing to do with brutishness. It has to do with high-level problem solving with dire physical consequences. But the early days were interesting because, there was a lot of people disparaging women fighting, including Dana White. Yeah, some people get disturbed watching women get bloodied up. That's a big one for some folks. It feels different. Obviously, I'm a big fan of women fighting, but when I watch a big cut on a woman, it feels different. It's so hard for people to not get emotional when they get hit. It's a very bad way to react in a fight, to fight with emotions, because you expose yourself. You leave yourself open for counters. You miss your rhythm. You're not as deceptive. You're too obvious in your pattern, and so many times you get hit a lot more. Yeah, it's a big problem with fighters. The smart thing to do is to fight with correct technique and with a correct strategy.
Dakota has built her entire game on one thing: power, crushing, bone-breaking, fight-ending power. Those body shots, they're legendary. They've ended careers. They dropped Taila Santos, a UFC veteran, in the second round. But that submission rate, 7%. One submission in 15 fights. One rear naked choke against Malin Hermansen back in 2023.
Okay, you've got to get busy here. You've got to show me something.
Oh, there we go. The old pin.
Good job from the man.
Look at the square. She's got it.
Second, don't you tell me what you think that I can be. I'm the one statement. I'm the master of my CEO.
So impressive.
Meanwhile, Lucia, 50% of her wins are submissions. 5 submissions in 10 fights. Let me say that again. Dakota, 7% submission win rate. Lucia, 50% submission win rate. That's not just a difference. That's a chasm. That's a completely different dimension of fighting. Watch how Dakota fights. She's a marauder. She comes forward like a Viking berserker with bad intentions. Look at this. Body punch. Body punch. Body punch. She's not headhunting. She's destroying your foundation. That's Dakota's superpower. She doesn't need submissions. She doesn't need takedowns. She just needs 4-ounce gloves and target practice on your ribs. But here's the weakness. What happens when the fight goes to the ground? What happens when someone doesn't try to stand and trade with her? Now watch Lucia. This is completely different. She's a problem that changes shape depending on what you bring to the cage. Here's why this matchup is terrifying for Dakota Ditcheva. Dakota's opponents have all tried to beat her at her game. Stand and trade. Survive the storm. Maybe steal a decision. Nobody's threatened her with submissions because they can't. They're not submission specialists. Lucia, 50% of her wins are submissions. 50%. The moment this fight hits the canvas, and in MMA, every fight eventually hits the canvas, Dakota is in uncharted waters. Has Dakota defended against a legit black belt level grappler? Has she escaped standing Americanas? Has she defended armbars from someone who hunts them like a shark? We don't know, because she's never had to. Dakota's opponents come in with one game plan: don't get knocked out. That's it. That's the whole strategy. Survive Dakota's power and maybe steal a decision. Lucia doesn't fight like that. She brings problems, threatens submissions, force Dakota to defend positions she's not comfortable in, mix in takedowns, make Dakota worry about level changes, strike from range with kicks, don't let Dakota close distance easily, change levels, change tactics, change the entire fight. Dakota's used to being the aggressor, the hunter. What happens when she faces someone who hunts her? Lucia has been to the decision twice. She fought for 15 minutes. She's had to grind. She had to adjust when plan A didn't work. Dakota, only 2 decision wins in 15 fights. She usually ends it early. That's beautiful, until it isn't. What happens in deep waters? What happens in championship rounds when the adrenaline is gone and it's just will versus will? Lucia's been there. She's survived. She's adapted. So here it is. The question that's been building this entire video. Can Lucia Szabova beat Dakota Ditcheva? What do you think happens? Can Lucia's submission game crack the code? Or does Dakota's power prove unstoppable? Drop your predictions in the comments right now. And if you want to see this fight actually happen, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's make some noise until these two step into the cage together.
I love to crush dreams, so let's go.
I can't wait to show you who is the real warrior.
Gonna be surprised when I hit her the first time too. I don't think she's been hit. Like, she hasn't been hit hard.
If you compare my fighting experience, it's huge.
These cocky fighters made the fatal mistake of disrespecting our beloved Dakota Ditcheva. They thought her beauty meant weakness. They ran their mouths, laughed at her Barbie nickname, and called her overrated. But what did Dakota did to them after? It shocked all of America and left these girls crying in the cage.
Come on in.
Defense.
We're ready.
So long and rangy.
Oh, put away.
Oh!
Yeah.